Happening now, over 49,000 shots in arms have been administered in Chautauqua County. We tell you where the vaccination process stands here locally. Plus, what Governor Cuomo's latest approval rating has to say.
Well, if you look outside, it would be very undeceivable to think we've got snow in the forecast for the middle of the week. We'll talk about what we know next as the news at noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Over 2,400 people in Chautauqua County were immunized with the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine in the last week. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. According to New York State's COVID-19 vaccine tracker, more than 49,000 county residents have been vaccinated so far, making up 38% of the total population. Of those, 34,000 county residents are fully vaccinated. In nearby Cattaraugus County, more than 24,000 residents have received at least one dose of their shot, making up just 32% of people there. Of those, more than 18,000 are considered fully vaccinated. Now, statewide, 41% of New Yorkers are vaccinated, with at least 28% fully. On Sunday, the nation reached an important milestone in the fight against COVID, with half of U.S. adults receiving at least one dose of the vaccine. More than 209 million total doses have now been administered, and 25% of the population is fully vaccinated. Those looking to get an appointment here in Jamestown can sign up for Chautauqua County's next vaccination clinic at SUNY JCC. Local health officials will be administering Moderna's dose tomorrow to anyone 18 years and older. As of this morning, over 600 appointments remained available online at chq.gov.com. Well, today is April 19th, the day President Joe Biden said every adult in the country would be eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine. States are delivering on his promise now, and millions of people have already been vaccinated nationwide. But as Britt Conway reports, health experts say the next hurdle is getting everyone else to do the same.
By no later than April 19th.
Today's the day. Every American 16 years and older is eligible to get a COVID-19 vaccine.
It's your turn now.
As of Sunday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says half of U.S. adults have had at least one dose, a big step in the race between vaccines and variants.
That's the reason why you want to get our population vaccinated.
But demand is dropping in a number of states. A recent poll from Monmouth University shows about 1 in 5 adults say they're not willing to get vaccinated. The divide is mostly along party lines, with 43% of Republicans who want to avoid the vaccine, 22% of independents, and 5% of Democrats. The reasons vary, from a push to maintain personal freedoms.
This is a public health issue. It's not a civil liberties issue.
To distrust because of past mistreatment of minorities by health professionals, difficulty accessing the shots, not liking needles, or a lack of long-term safety data.
These vaccines are exceedingly safe. They're, I believe, safer than most therapies and vaccines that we have developed in the past.
Health experts say whatever the reason, it's all the more reason to keep talking.
Having that conversation in a way that doesn't make them feel judged or ashamed by having any kind of concerns or hesitations, and that allows them to at least feel a bit more comfortable with it.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Britt, thank you. Wednesday, Biden delivers remarks on the COVID-19 response and the state of vaccinations. Well, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's favorability, job performance, and re-election ratings all continue to head in a downward trend. According to a newly released poll conducted by the Siena Research Institution at Siena College, found that Cuomo's favorability rating is now negative 40 to 52%. That down from 43 to 45% in March and 56 to 39% in February. However, at the same time, the poll found that the majority of New Yorkers continued to say that he should not resign, 51 to 37%, and that he can effectively do his job as governor. That's 52 to 38% of people polled. Voters approve of Cuomo's handling of the pandemic as well, 60 to 32%, and virtually that number unchanged from 60 to 33% last month. By a 44 to 22% margin, voters think that Cuomo committed sexual harassment, with 34% remaining undecided. Now, last month, a plurality of 41% of people were undecided, with voters thinking he had 34 to 24%. Now, Cuomo's job performance rating is negative, at 42% to 56% of people. That down from 46 to 52% in March and 51 to 47 in February. Right now, 33% of New Yorkers are prepared to re-elect Governor Cuomo next year if he does run. That compared to 57% of people who say they would prefer to see someone else. A group tasked with finding solutions to Jamestown's urban deer problem appears to be getting closer to solidifying a plan to deal with the issue. Over the past few months, the Deer Management Work Group has heard from experts about what to do to combat the growing number of urban deer. An increased population, city officials say, has led to vehicle accidents, property damage, and greater rates of Lyme disease. During a meeting last week, Councilman Tom Nelson joined other stakeholders, residents, and lawmakers to further discussions and reveal ideas gathered so far. Over time, the group has deliberated several methods to control the population. That's everything from sterilizing bucks to hosting controlled hunts.
I think could be an uphill battle.
Oh, it's most certainly would.
I mean, it didn't even come to a vote, earlier. So
right. I'm hoping that changes. I don't think we'll.
I don't think they're going to get serious about it until it's a big enough problem where people are seeing sick deer. That's my personal. I wish that would be different, but I don't think anything will be done about it until it's almost too late. As bad as that sounds.
The group is scheduled to meet again next month to continue discussions on the matter. During that upcoming meeting, the committee is expecting to discuss the best ways to educate the public on the issue. Some of the members plan to bring photos of large deer gatherings to use as part of the education efforts. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we get a check of local news this hour. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. We always love to hear from you. It's great to see Pam. Good to see Lisa. Happy Monday to you. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good afternoon to Dave. Good afternoon to Topsy, Terry, Paulie, Rob, and Lauren as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day out there. Well, now let's switch over to weather and get a first check of our forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter standing by with that, and it looks like a pretty nice sunny day out there now, Dakota, but I know over the next few things will be changing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great Monday, but yeah, it's the beginning of a new week, which is going to usher in, some snow. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. Here's a camera we haven't shown very often. This is at the roundabout in downtown Olean on Union Street. And traffic okay there. You can see the cloud cover back behind there. 56 is the current temperature there. And you can see some of the clouds kind of moving in from west to east again today. And there's a few spotty showers embedded within that. So do expect at least an isolated to spotty shower through the afternoon. It's not going to rain everywhere and it's not going to rain all afternoon. But you may feel a couple raindrops from time to time out there. 52 was the high yesterday, not too far from the average of this day. 87 on this day in 2002 broke the record high, and 20 in 1926 is the record low for today. So through the afternoon, partly sunny. We do have that chance for at least a light sprinkle or at least a light shower in there through at least early this afternoon. But a nice day, milder with a nice breeze, 58 to 63 with that southwest wind. Tomorrow should be a mainly dry day. Then it all goes downhill from there. Who gets the snow? How much? Am I crazy? We'll talk about it in detail in a few. Justin.
Dakota, you don't want me to answer that question. No, I'm just kidding. We'll certainly look forward to the forecast. Thank you. Well, a U.S. government agency is now urging Peloton Tread Plus customers with small kids and pets to stop using that machine. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the message comes after multiple dangerous incidents with it, including a child's death. A statement from the commission says it has become aware of 39 incidents involving that treadmill. There have been reports of children becoming entrapped, pinned, and pulled under it. For now, the commission hasn't issued a voluntary recall because Peloton allegedly won't agree to correct the action. The company saying the statement is inaccurate and misleading. Peloton says there's no reason to stop using the machine if safety instructions such as correctly using it safely are followed. Peloton does warn that the treadmill should be kept away from kids under the age of 16 and pets at all times. The commission says it will investigate all known instances that the machine has injured someone and request people to report them to their agency. Well, the murder trial against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin is winding down. Chauvin is accused of killing George Floyd and faces 3 counts of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. He's pleaded not guilty. Today, lawyers for each side are wrapping up their case and delivering their closing arguments. Daryl Forgis is in Minneapolis with a preview of what we can expect.
This is it. This is the week that many have been waiting for. Both sides today will be giving their closing statements as to why they believe Derek Chauvin is either innocent or guilty. But outside the courtroom, tension is running high.
Oh my God.
After 3 weeks of emotional and expert testimony, on Monday, lawyers presenting their closing arguments before turning the case to the jury. The prosecution expected to go first, making their final argument that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin violated his department's policy when he knelt on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes, killing him by asphyxia.
A healthy person subjected to what Mr. Floyd was subjected to would have died.
The prosecution team expected to go beyond experts and medical testimony and show that video that shocked the world over and over again.
There's no evidence to suggest he would have died that night, except for the interactions with law enforcement.
Then Chauvin's defense team will get their turn, likely arguing it wasn't his knee, but rather Floyd's heart condition and drug use that caused his death. The defense only has to raise doubt in the mind of one juror to avoid a conviction. Chauvin's attorney expected to emphasize testimony from their use of force expert.
I felt that Derek Chauvin was justified and was acting with objective reasonableness.
Meanwhile, outside the courtroom, a community on edge, reeling from a second tragedy 10 miles away, the death of 20-year-old Daunte Wright. Now, Daunte Wright's funeral is scheduled for this Thursday. Now, as for the Derek Chauvin murder trial, once both sides finish their closing arguments, the jury will be sequestered for deliberations. That might take a day, 2 days, perhaps even the whole week. And it's all about them getting to that final verdict. Now, Judge Peter Cahill did tell the jury last week to pack for long, but hope for short. In Minneapolis, I'm Daryl Forgis.
All right, Daryl, thank you. Next, what a water assessment has to say about the BPU's drinking water quality. And later, we tell you about a months-long cleanup project that kicks off this weekend here in Jamestown. Stay with us as WNY News Now rolls along.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today, online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
An annual water source assessment has found that Jamestown's water supply might be susceptible to contamination. Conducted by the New York State Department of Health, the assessment estimates the potential for water source contamination. It found that there is a high density of sanitary wastewater discharge in the watershed, which results in elevated susceptibility for nearly all contaminated categories. Now, specifically, the amount of pastures in the area resulted in a high potential for protozoa contamination. However, the report found the total amount of water discharged to surface water is not high enough to considerably raise the potential for contaminating drinking water. The BPU water is derived from 12 various wells, 8 of them in the Casadega well field and 4 in Poland Center's well field. The source water assessment has rated the wells in both fields as having a medium to high susceptibility to microbacteria and a medium susceptibility to industrial solvents and other contaminants. The full study can be found online at the Board of Public Utilities website. A long-standing program that helps economically disadvantaged college students find educational success is getting a bit of a financial boost. SUNY Chancellor Jim Malatras announced last week the Educational Opportunity Program has received a 20% increase in funding. The state university says the program has been credited as being one of the country's most successful college access programs and is an integral part for broadening access to higher education. They add that the funding will open the doors to hundreds, if not thousands, of students. The additional operating revenue will also help expand the program to more SUNY campuses and increase student resources to help students succeed in associate's and bachelor degree programs. It would also cover additional funding to help implement Chancellor Malatra's first ever statewide initiative to help more students get into medical universities. The increase is the first new investment for this program in the last 5 years. In total, SUNY secured $6.4 million in the 2022 fiscal state budget. It is the single largest increase in that program's recent history. Well, with warmer weather and more people getting vaccinated, Americans might be a bit anxious to travel. But if you plan to take a trip, experts say travel insurance may be the way to go. Mandy Gaither with more in today's Consumer Watch.
Planning a trip but want to make sure you're covered in case of cancellation?
Travel insurance can give consumers peace of mind.
The Better Business Bureau says travel insurance can protect your purchase against potential canceled flights or changed itineraries, but a warning, not all policies will cover cancellations for a health scare or bad weather, but some of what's typically covered includes trip cancellation or delay, lost or stolen luggage, emergency medical assistance, and coverage for rental cars.
You want to carefully read the language that is in your coverage policy. You want to find out if you're covered in case of illness or theft, and if the coverage changes if you travel internationally. This is especially important if you or those who you're traveling with have health conditions.
The Insurance Information Institute says to expect to pay between 5 to 7% of the cost of your trip, and before you buy, do your research on the company.
You want to make sure you look for things like possible complaints and reviews.
And before buying travel insurance, know the difference between insurance and a cancellation waiver. While waivers provide some trip cancellation protection, they generally include more restrictions. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mandy Gaither.
All right, Mandy, thank you. You can also look into your existing insurance policies to find out what coverage your health and car insurance companies might offer. You can do the same with your homeowners or rental insurance providers too. Well, a little helicopter has just completed its first big mission. NASA's Ingenuity Helicopter successfully flew and landed on Mars today. It's the first aircraft to achieve powered flight on another planet. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory was in mission control to receive and analyze data from that attempt. Ingenuity flew to Mars aboard the Perseverance rover back in February. Their team has until the beginning of May to complete test flights. That's because the rover needs to get on with its main mission, collecting rock samples that could hold evidence of past Martian life for a return to Earth nearly a decade from now. Until then, Perseverance will keep watch over Ingenuity, with flight engineers affectionately calling them Percy and Ginny. Certainly incredible. What a historic moment this morning. I got to actually watch some of that a little bit live. NASA does a really great job on their YouTube page.
Yep.
It's pretty much for events like this, almost like a 24-hour stream in some cases. Where
NASA.tv.
they have anchors who present the data and explain to us in layman terms what is happening. And I mean, today really is remarkable in the sense of science and history that we had a helicopter fly on Mars, and I'd like to see, 10 years from now they'll have the actual physical rocks back, and I'm sure it'll take a little bit longer to analyze it, but I wonder if there is, or ever was, life up there on the orange planet.
Well, I mean, it's the red planet.
Red planet, I'm sorry, red planet. Thank you. Red, orange, red. I'm wearing red today. Leave it to Justin.
That was great.
Good to see Linda. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to Lisa, Pam, and Diane as well. I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? You think there's Martians out there?
I think there's aliens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you know, I wouldn't put it past, you know, outside forums to be out there in space and on other planets. I mean, anything's possible, I guess, but...
Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that are still unexplained. We could talk about this all day. I love watching those mystery files on TV. My girlfriend does not. She's like, turn off the History Channel, get away. Like, she can't stand it. So sometimes when I go home early, that's what I do.
Right.
But
while you have the house to yourself.
Right. I can watch whatever I want. Gosh. Yesterday, a lot of people were watching the sky. It was so cool where right before... It rained in some parts of our area, probably 5, 6 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
Some of that rolled through, and it was still sunny. And when that happens, it produces some beautiful sights.
Yes, it did, such as this one. Now, Justin, you sent in a couple of pictures on our group chat last night.
They weren't as good as this one, though.
Yes,
this is great.
this one came in, I believe, this morning, and this is from yesterday, I do believe. Jake sent us this picture of the rainbow that occurred yesterday. And again, rainbows have to do with the water vapor and obviously the sun reflecting through the water vapor and the ice crystals in the sky. So you ultimately get this nice color rainbow. I don't know if there was a box of Lucky Charms at the end of the rainbow. It's not my favorite kind of cereal, so I'll say it was a box of Honey Bunches of Oats. I don't know. Hey, Thursday at 7 o'clock, we have the next online Skywarn Storm Spotter training session from the National Weather Service in Buffalo. It's free to register. Go to weather.gov/BUF/Skywarn to register. And we threw together a nice little graphic to help you to understand why spotters are so important. So here's the National Weather Service Doppler radar site right here. Here we have a thunderstorm. Now, the thing with the radar is the radar beam, when it gets sent out, it doesn't go in a perfectly straight line, but imagine it as a straight line. So as you get farther away from the radar site, the beam gets higher and higher and higher because the Earth curves away from it. The Earth is not flat, people. It is curved. It's round. And because of that, the beam gets higher. So the base height, the lowest beam scan is 0.3 degrees. Normally it's half degree, but on the Buffalo radar, it's down to 0.3 degrees. So we're only seeing this part of the thunderstorm. Well, look at where the spotter is, down at the ground. You're seeing this section of the storm that this doesn't see. And that is very important because we could look at what's going on up here all day long, but it only matters what's going on down at the ground, and that's where the spotters come in. So that was a nice little graphic we threw together this morning. 53 as a noon hour. Nice day out there. You would not think in just 1 or 2 days from now we're going to have some white stuff flying, but that's exactly what's going to be happening here over the next 48 hours. So pretty much we have a few clouds starting to come in. This is a next cold front that comes in tomorrow. We'll see some rain showers tonight, but this is really what's going to be coming our way on Wednesday. It doesn't look like much now, pretty much over the Rocky Mountains, but yeah, it's going to be strengthening as it moves our way. So let's time it out on FutureScan, show you what we think so far. So you see the model painting a few little isolated showers through the afternoon, definitely a possibility. Tonight, rain showers come in. They'll start to taper off overnight. Then we get into maybe a few more rain showers, maybe a wintry mix by morning. That clears out for the afternoon for tomorrow. Now watch as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday as the storm system system strengthens. The exact track of the low is still TBA at this point, so because of that, we can't give you exact details on how much snow we're going to get. Now we're going to swap the computer models to one that goes out a little bit farther, and you'll be able to see that it's actually painting all three precip types: snow, mixed precipitation, and then the rain further down to the south. And then you'll see the snow ultimately start to pull away a little bit as we go through the day on Wednesday through Thursday. So here's what we're thinking, at least what we know so far. The low pressure moves close to the region, and again, track TBA, snow showers likely Wednesday. At least 2 or more inches of snowfall is likely across the region. How much? We just don't know the exact details yet, because this is why the track of that low plus any snow melting is going to be key into this forecast. So check back tomorrow for more details. Next 7 days right now brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 47 tomorrow, early mix, then to rain, then tapers off for the afternoon. We're watching Thursday and Friday for some of that accumulating snow. An overall nice day Friday. The sun is back, and then the weekend, just a few scattered showers, but temperatures in the 50s. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by 42 Degrees and Sunny, smoking deals on smoking accessories. Learn more at 42degreesandsunny.com. That's 42degreesandsunny.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Finally here today, a campaign aiming to clean up neighborhoods in Jamestown kicks off this weekend. A collection of organized cleanup efforts, part of the HandsOn Neighborhoods initiative, starts Saturday in the area between North Main and Washington Streets. The program runs through October with several cleanups targeting various neighborhoods throughout Jamestown each Saturday of the month. Now, coordinated by the Chautauqua County Land Bank, Executive Director Gina Paradis tells us that the long-term goal is to make the initiative a permanent program.
We really want this to be more of a program rather than just an event, or 7 events in this case. We really want the program to help empower community members to build a sense of community pride.
Now, in the first year, the program will be focused in Jamestown, but she hopes to extend it to other areas in the county. She wants to highlight collaboration between the city departments, the civic organizations, and the land bank, which helps people deal with problems in real estate caused by bankruptcy and foreclosure. Volunteers can sign up for Saturday's event online now at chqlandbank.org/hands-on. Health protocols like mask wearing will be followed at all times. Pretty awesome. And spring's coming when people are starting to get out and have that spring cleanup. But as you mentioned just a few moments ago, Dakota, they're definitely going to have to battle maybe early this week some snow showers. But otherwise, I think it's a great time to get out and really help people, because there is a lot to do. I imagine from winter, you have sticks that have fallen and other things. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And the thing with that is, there are a lot of other issues that neighborhoods are trying to face too. And they can have that conversation as well. So it'll be great to see what happens this week, and hopefully there'll be a lot of people out there signing up. I know some people I saw on Facebook over this past weekend were out cleaning, doing things. I got out a little bit on Sunday. And it was a pretty nice day overall. There was a couple of drops here and there that we saw, but it was out. I was practicing my cornhole skills, so that was fun. It was a good time hanging out. And the thing is, more and more people now, I think, ready for summer, but I know that summer isn't quite here quite yet.
Yeah, we've still got a ways to go until summer. And, when it comes to snow in April, it's happened before, almost every year. and it's going to happen again. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's like Mother Nature's sick and cruel joke. It's like, ha ha ha, we're over, and then ha, sucker, gotcha. Right. That's kind of the way it is. 36 to 40 tonight, mostly cloudy, then scattered showers develop through the, through the evening hours, limited breaks overnight. Then as we get into tomorrow night and Wednesday, we're watching that storm system, which could bring some accumulating snow to the area Wednesday and Thursday. We still need to fine tune that, so we'll have more details for you tomorrow.
All right. Of course, you'll always keep us updated online, and I know you'll probably have more in your web weather article coming out too a little bit later today. Great to see Elizabeth. Good to see Lori, Allen, and Willie as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We'll leave you with this live look over downtown Jamestown. Looks like spring out there now. Of course, things might be a-changing. Dakota and I are back here tomorrow with the details of that, plus more news live at noon. We'll see you then.